Meat blade with guitar, steak blade and any innovative device project, transparent team, awesome community.
Hello, crypto. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody had a nice Christmas break last week and you're getting fired up for New Year's Eve tomorrow and the beginning of 2026. And let's hope 2026 is kinder to our crypto bags and all our favorite crypto projects than 2025 has been. 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Oh, terrible years for crypto. Oh, what is going on? If only just started buying Bitcoin 3 years ago. But we weren't here for limp dick gains. We all came for glory. We came for glory and did not quite get that just yet. But we're still here, still fighting, still building, still working. And 2026, 2026 will be our year. I hope. Utah Crypto, how's it going? Oh, he's got his little tag. Hold the line, love it.
Hold the line. Hold the line. Let's go.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, doing good. How was your Christmas?
Yeah, really nice. Pretty chilled out. Probably the most chilled out Christmas I've had for quite a lot of years. Yeah, we got settled and it was we were settled in our new home a few months back. Well, 6 months ago, we kind of got settled down and we didn't host. We usually host Christmas, but we didn't do any hosting this year. So yeah, it was all just pretty chilled and pretty low key, pretty easy. What about yourself?
Yeah, same thing. It's my grandson's first Christmas, so he's only 5 months old, so he got spoiled. And yeah, it was a good time, man. Super chill. Yep. Nice,
Yeah.
relaxing, enjoying some time off work.
Yeah, I got a nice break from my work kind of almost shuts down this time of year. We work in the transport stroke pharmaceutical industry and it's pretty it kind of just everything shuts down for about 2 weeks from maybe just a few days before Christmas all the way through to the second week in January. So this time of the year I do get a pretty nice break, but I haven't I'm saying I haven't been taking it pretty easy. I haven't been spending a lot of time on my phone or on crypto. I've just been chilling, watching a bit of TV, hanging out with the family, playing around, not really working, getting stuck into crypto stuff. What about yourself? Did you find yourself involved in the charts, working or just taking it easy this last week?
Well, I'm always checking, charts and socials and stuff, at least a few times a day, but like I've been out, a bit unplugged from crypto and just enjoying some time with family and whatever else, a little bit of life. Sometimes it's healthy, to just kind of take a step back and chill a bit.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we kind of said you can't fight the market? We kind of just need still here, kind of letting everything just play out the way it's going to play out. See Richard Hart putting a few posts out the last couple of days, just saying, fuck all the crying, and just be prepared for when the markets do change, when liquidity starts flowing back, when candles start going up or prices start going up instead of continually going down. Be prepared for be in the position for that when it happens. That's kind of what we've always been saying here, especially these last few weeks. What do you think? Good advice, bad advice, or fuck Richard Hart's advice?
I tend to agree with that. I mean, we've come this far. How am I prepared for when the markets turn? I tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not selling bottoms. You know, the best thing that I can do is increase my positions, number of tokens that I believe in, that I'm gonna continue to hold until the time is right. And then, you know, I mean, what else do you do at this point, right? I mean, yeah, you could sit online and cry fag, right? Isn't that what Richard Hart said? You can sit online and cry fag in Telegram or X or whatever else, or you can say, okay, this is the hand I'm dealt. What am I going to do about it? And for me, I'm just going to continue to DCA. I know, I know a lot of people are saying, don't DCA, blah 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 blah. I don't give a shit. I'm this far in. I'm going to continue to DCA. So right now it's just about accumulation. But you're right. There's not too much we can do as far as the overall market right now. Just be out here in front and be like, we're still here, we're still building, we're still fighting, and when it's time, it's time.
Yeah, I mean, even watching Ethereum just bob around that 3K mark. We're kind of, a few weeks back, it looked like it was going to start maybe pushing, and then it started to look like it was going to, it was going to start capitulating even more. But it's just strange watching it just hover around that 3K mark. It's just leaving everybody that's participating in the markets at the minute just undecided. It's not giving the bears the ammunition to say we're 100% right. It's not giving the extended cycle narrative a chance to even breathe. Kind of just kicking around that 3K mark, just leaving everybody in limbo to try to decipher what the fuck's going to happen next.
Just wearing us down. The sideways action just wearing us down. This has not been easy to hold through, but
yeah,
I mean,
okay. Go ahead, sorry.
I came here for fucking generational wealth, Kay, and I ain't leaving without it. And I don't give a shit how long it takes. Okay? I'm fucking here.
Okay, look, I agree. Now, when I can't believe that it's coming up, when I get into the early part of 2026, it's going to be approaching 5 years that I've been in crypto. And to think that I am in the position that I am now, where we are, and thinking that I came in, May 2021, when things were, Bitcoin was already having its kind of first top at that point. There was talk of Pulse Chain, PulseX, or in that first year that I was in, and I thought that I was positioned in possibly the best place coming in at that time. Now, the fact that has not happened, I found myself woke up this morning and seen another low for maybe it's not an actual low today, but just seeing Titan X at that 85, around that 85, 86, $87 per billion, seeing PulseX hit a new all-time low. And kind of today, I have been thinking today, what on earth, why are we still here after all this time and still fighting? And all I can think at this minute in time is that in any of the things that I have experienced and learned from so far, I can take all the things that I've learned and improve everything that I'm doing going forward. Just improve everything going forward. We do learn from mistakes and we learn from past experiences. To keep doing the same thing is obviously not a good thing to be at. But I believe that I have learned enough to make much better decisions going forward. And 4.5 years of learning, working. There ain't no way in hell I am giving up. You go back to some of the old things. Things like time in the market. There's nothing there's nothing more true than that at this minute in time. You just gotta keep digging it out and keep finding a way to keep yourself alive. If that's whatever that might have been for people over the last while, is continually DCAing in, exiting the stables, coming back in at a time when they feel a little bit more confident. But it's just not giving up. When the markets cannot just keep going down forever. And the fact that I've been here for this long, there is no way in hell that I'm not going to be here and participating and using the wealth of knowledge that I've built up and all the experience that I've built up to not be here whenever things do start to turn. Because when they do, I think we'll be in a prime position to take advantage because everybody else is already capitulated and pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, when crypto moves, man, it's violent to the upside. Well, to the downside, it can be too. You know, crypto just moves violently because it's such low liquidity compared to traditional markets. And you know when everything starts pumping, right after you fucking sell, right? That's when everything starts pumping. I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing any of that shit. I just holding, you know, I've said it before, but the people that made the most money in crypto are the people that forgot they had it. People that bought Bitcoin really, really cheap and just totally forgot they even had it until years later. And then there's like, holy fuck. And the reason that those people did the best is because they weren't watching the charts. They weren't emotionally tied to it. They didn't have an opportunity to fucking sell. Because if they would have known they had it, they would have sold it 5 years earlier. You know what I mean? Oh
Yeah.
shit, you know. But if you don't realize you have it, you know, you're not emotionally involved in it. So I know it sucks, especially sucks if you're founders, you know, because you're building protocols. So not only are your bags relying on the markets, but also your protocols, and we can do what we can do, but till that liquidity starts coming back in, you know, I think, you know, 2025 was rough, man. None of us expected that. You know, we didn't. We expected bull run. We got fucking tariffs and all this other bullshit, wars and fuck, you know it. You know, you name it. But you know, still here. I believe it's gonna flip around, and yeah, I'm gonna be here when it does. You bet your ass. We're gonna love it.
Rich, how's it going there?
It's going good. Glad I could join you. Yeah,
Okay.
I heard you say that no way in hell you would leave now. I would say no way in hell I would do it again.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do? What do you wouldn't do? What would you do if you could? Yeah, would you start? Would you even start the game now, knowing what you'd have to endure for 5 years? Probably
No. That's a clear no.
not. Oh, fuck. And you have a nice Christmas, Rich?
I sure did. It's been very relaxing. Sometimes I'm traveling between states as I get from one family member to another. But yeah, that's what this holiday season is usually for me, just visiting family. And I'm at the last location before I return to work, but that's still Sunday before I got to leave. So I got the rest of the week to chill.
Yeah, I'm pretty relaxed here for the next. I'm actually going to go out for lunch tomorrow, New Year's Eve, and then yeah, nice relaxed weekend, and then all guns blazing come whatever it may be. What's it going to be, like the 3rd or 4th of January? Back on Monday. Back. We'll be streaming a bit more. We'll be working more, posting more, creating more. Yeah, busting our balls for more. Busting our balls for the Titan X ecosystem again. So we'll kind of do want to have a flick through tonight. I want to go through, we'll have a chat about anything that comes up in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions. If we're talking about anything, you have an opinion, feel free to throw it in to the chat, and we'll get to the comments eventually. But I do want to look at just down Titan X Hub and have a look at a lot of the protocols that are there. We can discuss it. Just see a comment in there. Has anybody seen any life from Jake in recent months? So I mean, we'll start the discussion on that point. I have seen nothing from Jake. A couple of posts, a post whenever Oran launched, a post whenever Taurus launched, a couple of things here and there. But even those posts were probably at least a month ago. The question: do you think he's coming back?
I could say I don't even care. Honestly, it's nothing against him. I feel like we should move on as adults in the room and act like we could take it from here. I feel like we don't need to rest on one person coming back, whether this ecosystem survives or not. I feel like the tools are there. X28 is there to remove tight neck supply. If people would utilize it, we'll get the job done. So I'm tired of thinking about Jake and whether he's coming back and what is. I don't idolize anybody, so in this case, I'm not hopeful or who cares. Let's just keep on keeping on. Let's move on.
Utah.
Oh, you bet your ass he's coming back. I I agree with what Rich said though. You know, community driven is what it needs to be. Um, but yeah, I mean I don't know. I think maybe we know a little bit more about Jake than most people because we were in the mastermind. Uh, Dude's got an appetite for success, so I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to come back. Uh, he wants to do some things, so yeah, and he never really stops working. So I don't have any fear if he does or if he doesn't. I believe he will, and yeah, I'd like to see him back personally, and I want to see what he's building for X28. It's more curiosity than anything, I guess. I want to know. I want to know what he's up to.
Yeah, so nothing since the end of October. Dan hope he does eventually come out with a build. Such a wasted opportunity otherwise. That's the kind of way I look at it. I just look at the ecosystem and, we achieved and have achieved so much there. Obviously at the minute, like every ecosystem or every community in crypto, they're all pretty decimated in terms of activity, holders, bags, all that kind of stuff. But what we did, what we built towards the end of 2024 and all this year as well. There was a lot, there was a lot of new builds come out even in 2025. But there's so much there. There's still so much dollar value backing so many of these protocols. It's not like other things where there's just a project and they're sitting out there and they're quiet. There's so much dollar value backing these protocols and so much potential for when the market turns, and it's easy to forget that. It's easy not to wait. But I would, on the point of Jake, I would just love to see. I'd love to have seen more activity from him. What you say, Rich. I certainly don't idolize Jake, but as the founder and guy that was given so much direction and so much assistance to his community, to disappear is fucking shit, in my opinion. To just disappear the way he has was not cool. And maybe he has his reasons, whatever. You go ahead, you go away, and you've got to get your head stuck into work. Unless he comes back out all guns blazing and has some sort of awesome build coming, fires, bam, burns, creates some more hype for us, helps us all. I think it's a bit of a fucking, as it says, a wasted opportunity for helping us make this ecosystem into something fucking massive.
I think it's part of the shakeout plan. For him to be absent would make everyone think that this is going to zero. Well, that's part of the shakeout plan. Get everybody to give up their tokens. At some point, when no one's left, then they utilize the buy and burn. It gets rid of a lot of supply. I don't know the strategy they're using, other than it falls right into what they need. So him disappearing helps people think this is going to zero, which those of us who are here know that it's not going to zero. But I get so numb from the conversation.
Yeah,
it goes nowhere.
Again, the only reason we're having this is because we're trying to review everything, kind of have a quick overview of kind of everything that's going on in the ecosystem at this minute in time and what has happened. I mean, Jake's absence in 2025 has been a huge part of what's happened in the ecosystem. The conversation has been there many times. And then people kind of do get bullish a little bit more bullish whenever you see something. They comes out and posts something. You know, people calling even a wee fire the Bamburn. I seen somebody in a telegram chat. Maybe it was yesterday or a couple of days ago saying he lost the keys. He lost the keys to the Bamburn, which fucking could be a reality too. Stuck in the sauna still. Hey, what can we do? It could be worse, right? Yes, it could be worse. Could be.
The amount of money sitting on just the transaction fee or the incentive fee to call the buy and burn is enormous. Last time I looked, it was $60,000 worth of ETH just to call the button.
Yeah.
So no normie's going to hit that button. I can promise you that.
Yeah. All right. That's. Let me share my screen up. Okay. What I want to do is right. We'll do a bit of a quick fire. Ali, where is Callum? I have no idea. I know Callum had a bit of a rough time in his own personal life shortly after he launched the Phoenix Protocol. Young lad had a lot in his own plate personally. Not shortly after the launch of Phoenix, and never, a lot at the same time, a lot of money spent for Callum, a lot of money spent in building protocols, a lot of work, effort, and a time when projects were struggling, a lot of builders were not earning back the money that they were putting in to their protocols. A lot of people that were invested heavily in the ecosystem, watching their bags go down. So, I mean, Callum again suffered the same kind of fate as many other builders or people that really wanted to try and build and add to the TitanX ecosystem. But yeah, he was a breath of fresh air at the time when he came in. To see Callum was great at promoting eco. Unfortunately, it was launched at a bad time. Yeah, he really was a breath of fresh air. Young lad. Remember the first stream I seen him coming on wearing a suit and all, talking real had a real good way of talking and discussing and putting points across.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Sorry, I was about to share my screen.
He would dress up in a suit. He was Slick Willie.
Slick Willie. Oh, okay. So we'll have a quick flick and down through. It might get a bit interesting. It's funny to see when you look at this, the way TitanX Hub here, we've got everything ranked by market cap at this minute in time. And you look down the list. So, Inferno X, Utah, bottom of the pile.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to show Inferno X. Everybody forgot about it. It's a failure. Yeah, forget all about that one.
Okay, so TitanX, obviously TitanX, looking at TitanX market cap, 8.8 million shown here, 8.8 million market cap. We were touching 100 million maybe at the height last year. I think even DragonX was hot on its tail around that point. The DragonX all the way down to 4.5 million market cap. TitanX, okay. Yeah, DragonX, guys, is it going to make it or is it not going to make it?
DragonX is going to do fine, but I think the founder thinks we're in a bear market, so telling everybody sell TitanX. Learn how to set up Amazon stores.
Part of the shakeout strategy.
I don't think he's in on it personally, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, and then Oren, Oren. Where do you start to talk about Shadowy, Ouroboros, Oren? It's certainly one of the most vibrant chats left in the TitanX ecosystem. You can go into pretty much any other Telegram, even the DragonX Telegram, for the amount of buy and burn power it has behind the protocol, the amount of holders that DragonX has. you go into the Telegram and there's maybe, you know, 1 or 2 comments a day. But AU, ORX, there's always a lot of discussion going on in there. So I don't know. What do you guys think of Oran, ORX, and how it fared in 2025?
Crickets.
Well, I think it's it'll have its time, and it just proved that nobody's immune to massive sell-offs. You know, it doesn't matter where you are or what you're in. When the conditions are this bad, people are gonna take profits, and there's not a lot of loyalty, and there's sure as hell not a lot of people that believe in holding tokens anymore. My God, you know, I have an idea. Let's just hold our tokens and not sell them. You know, but people don't want to do that. So, you know, I think what he's doing is good, and I think that they'll rebound just fine. And if you're a believer in that eco, it might be a good time to average down your positions. But nobody's immune. Nobody's immune to these kinds of conditions.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, you know, even it's crazy to look at where ORX, price of ORX, and the potential for Oran, where that part of the ecosystem was even 2 months ago, just before the launch of Oran. Even before that, you know, even before the little run up ORX had in price, you know, the ORX price at its top was holding massive value within the ecosystem. It looked at that time like it was, you know, and the community, the ORX community firmly believed this, that it was the shining light in the whole ecosystem. You know, pretty much it was the most active community. It was showing the most potential at that time. But like you say, Utah, you know, people looked like Shadowy could do absolutely no wrong. But as soon as we started to see prices, you know, starting to come down, like you say, nothing or nobody is immune to the market. Just even see a mention there in the comments of PvP, the ecosystem, or that community fucking at each other alive. Whenever prices started to capitulate. Now we can go into a lot more detail and, you know, discuss exactly what happened around that time, but I don't want to get too deep in the discussion of any one particular thing. We can cover that in more detail, details next year. But yeah, certainly from looking like the Shadowy could do no wrong, that everything was just going to be up and to the right for Ouroboros and AU. They suffered the same fate as everything else in the ecosystem whenever people started to sell.
Many souls have been claimed in these in the altcoin market in the last 5 years, man. I tell you what, I've seen some shit. I mean, OGs from communities, this community, other communities, protocols, just founders, just, I mean, it's been really, really brutal. So
people stopped believing in anything. They would sell their mothers for $2. Yeah, it's I think a lot of people, and you know, people just got, would you say, desperate to a lot of the people that were left, maybe over leveraged, or a lot of people that would just, you know, yeah, like you say, just do anything for a quick dollar or to try and rescue any profit. I mean, you see this all over the place. It's just that, you know, people literally sell at any point for a little bit of profit. You know, as soon as there's a tiny little pump, sell, out. Yeah. Okay, X28. We are firm believers in X28 and where it's headed. X28 didn't really get do you say? Didn't get the love that it deserves in 2025. What do you think?
No, X28. That's a hell of a look at that buy right now. $71.50 for $1 billion. Yeah, all day, all day. But yeah, I mean, I said it a million times. You know, the founder of Titan X created an omni-chain token, and what do you think is going to happen? I mean, you can go on the site and see all the different chains that it's going to go on. So, yeah, X28, that is the one.
Yeah,
That is the chosen one.
I suppose it's easy for a lot of people to not really care about that too, Utah, at the minute. The fact that it could be on so many chains. I mean, there's a counter argument to that we don't have there's not a big enough community yet to go to so many other chains. Yes, we can go one at a time or whatever, but X28, if Jake comes back, or when Jake comes back, when the markets start to turn again, if anything has got potential in the ecosystem to be in a better position than it is now, X28, in my opinion, is one of them. It's been so underused, but has so much potential for what it can do. And we'll not get deep into it, but we've showed some of the potential in the launch of Diamonds. We have definitely showed some of the potential that it is there for X28.
I would argue that X28 doesn't even have to go multi-chain to do massive impact to Titan X supply. I mean, just a project like Diamonds or another one like Diamonds that utilizes X28 in the way we do. You've seen what we've done in just a matter of 40 something days, and even that, just a small amount of ETH coming in. It took in 360 billion Titan X. All that was converted to X28, and in doing so, burned 180 billion Titan X. I mean, that's pretty substantial for a small project with minimum participation, minimum users, in a short amount of time. So and we weren't talking multi-chain. So if X28 never touches another chain, it would do massive impact to Titan X, right where it's at.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, very good point. It's a massive burner, man. That thing is a burner.
Yeah, and then on down USDX. See, this shows you, if you look at the ecosystem, AU, Ouroboros, USDX, they're all well up there in terms of market cap within the ecosystem. Hydra, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know much about Hydra at all. And either you guys got anything to say? I'm surprised it's a surprise it's even up here in these rankings at the minute. Either you guys got any opinions on Hydra?
Just not enough money to spread around. I do kind of like it, but I think it's probably one of the brighter stars in the region. I think it's got the power to do something when things do turn around. It just can't focus on every one of the good projects we have in the ecosystem.
Yeah, and then again, just looking to see that Hydra and Shogun, even Shogun sitting here. Shogun, like, fucking hell, Jake's magnum opus or whatever the fuck it's called, 250K market cap. Yeah,
that was there to wreck the stakes even further.
Yeah, it's a bit of a letdown, to be honest. Although yeah,
that's
you could exit your Titan X stakes through there, but you had to put up more to get out. But
yeah, and that thing took in a shitload of Titan X via X28. Absorbed a lot of supply, so I expect that thing to make a hell of a comeback. Just because Jake put his face out there on it and said, this is my magnum opus and all this other stuff. So, I mean, and I've been picking up little bits here and there at these bottoms because I really think that thing's gonna rip once it starts Once everything starts spooning.
Craziest motherfucker in all crypto. Still DCN at this time. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, what's the worst looking chart you can find? And what do I think has the most upside potential? Yeah, Shogun's definitely in that conversation in Titanx.
Nice.
I just
Okay.
don't like the 10% tax. I mean, I'm a citizen that don't like taxes.
Yeah, it is a big in, a big out. Okay, Taurus, cryptographics turned community member stroke streamer into builder. And Taurus did get off to an absolute flyer. Rich, you were putting out a lot of content around Taurus whenever it launched. Cryptographics is still doing a great job. It's just funny when in the launch hype we were streaming together, but after he launched Unity, I haven't seen much of him promoting or talking about anything else in Titan X. It almost feels like it almost feels a little bit like it's not part of the eco anymore. Now, I know that's not the fact, but I'm just kind of saying how I feel about it, a little bit about it. No, I don't mean anything, bad by that at all. Cryptographics has got to work, and he is working to, working for his own community, for his own projects, but it just doesn't really feel like it's part of the eco at this minute in time. I don't know whether you guys feel the same. What do you think?
Yeah, similar thoughts. I mean, he was on every day until the Unity launch, and then it was never. But I do like the Taurus project. I think the staking was the better part of it. The only thing is you have such a short staking term, and you have to take them out and start over and re-enter, and so you have a new cost every time you do that. You have to re-enter, and it's a new Titanx cost. And I know that's part of what keeps the engine going there, but I haven't even seen what the recent release is for additional staking or something like that. And again, it comes back to really, I got enough going on that I got to keep up with. I can't be out there, just like these guys are not over here supporting diamonds. Nobody's helping us talk about diamonds. I can't be out there thinking about everybody else's projects anymore. I've got enough to handle on my plate.
Yeah, I think that is a good thing. I think that's what I think that's one of the big lessons as builders, for us as well in 2025 was, whenever you are managing, running your own projects, they need your own time and effort to be going into those. Before we started building, do you think we only started building the ecosystem? The reality is just over a year ago. I know we were involved in Blaze, but Blaze back then with an 8-man team, it felt very, 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 very different. We were still, because it was 8 people, you were still able to, be a part of Blaze, but also do everything else and look at everything else that you wanted to as well. And with so much hype and so many people coming on to the streams to talk about their projects, it was much, much easier to keep abreast of everything that was happening. But the reality at the minute is that, as builders, as streamers, or whatever, you really do have to put your own time and effort into your own protocols. Yes, the community of Unity is a nice thing, and when the good times come around, I'm sure that will happen again. We'll get people, wanting to come on, talk about different things. But yeah, there's so many of these projects. When I look down, and again, I was looking at even at Morph here. I was speaking to Brandon pretty much every week. At one stage, I don't think I've really had a chat with him in a few months now. Steve DeFi still kicking about in Volt. He's still, he hasn't disappeared like many other, or some other founders. He certainly hasn't disappeared. But I think maybe Steve DeFi realizes and knows that he can't fight the market, and putting some money or effort into Volt, he just maybe didn't see the return that he was going to get. But it's funny as you kind of look down the list. When you looked at now, we're only looking at sort of the rankings here by market cap, but it's even funny to see the likes of Blaze in there, and and it's it has made a bit of a comeback over the last few months since me in Utah and Rich got stuck into promoting and launching diamonds on top of it. But if you look at the it's almost like I'm not saying it is, but it's almost like if you look at the rankings by market cap now, it's almost like who's still here and still working, apart from Jake, really, but who's still here and still working in some capacity are the ones that are still kind of kicking in. When you get down past this kind of top 20, it starts to drop off a cliff. Really, founders are nowhere to be seen, many of them.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Baby Dragon X, James, that dude. And not only is he still here, he's always positive. He's always happy. He's always having a good time. That dude is a beast, man. He works real hard. He's up till 3 a.m. sometimes doing streams or whatever. He's around, man. And he's bringing those positive vibes. He's been running the Sunday spaces. Plan A took a bit of a vacation. James is still there. We had 6 fucking people in our spaces on Sunday. 6 fucking people. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're in the bottom zone. I mean, I don't know. What's it got to get to? 2?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, 100%. Shout out to James. He's still turn up to the weekly spaces. He's almost become, it was Mike Dean and Plan A running the space for a long, long time. Mike, for same as meant the reason that many of us stopped going after a year of turning up to Sunday spaces every week. I think it was time to start spending some Sunday afternoons and whatever with family rather than turning up to spaces every week. But James kind of almost has taken that thing over.
Yeah, I want to second that. James is always positive. He's always going to lighten the room up. Really, really do like James.
Okay. Brandon, Morpheus, Switch.win. Brandon, when he came into the ecosystem, spent a lot of time, turning up the spaces, streaming with everybody. He would always, even when we were launching, even last year, it's not even around this time last year, even when we were launching GoatX for Irish crypto, Brandon found the time to have us on his stream, promoting GoatX to his audience. They're giving us a voice through his channel and helping. But he hasn't really been anywhere to be seen for Titan X for quite some time. Any takes on that?
I think he's really focused on build the tech, and so I think that's really where he's focused. His focus is right now. I believe Morph will also do well, but I just believe that right now he's not fighting the market. So what is he doing? He's working on things in the real world, that can add value in that. So I mean, I see him all the time. And I saw an X post of his the other day, and I actually DM'd him about it because it was a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys saw that conversation or not, but yeah, go check that out. And I really like that idea. It's about robots, back, with the basically a crypto backing. It's a very good idea. It got my wheels turning, and that can be scary when my wheels start turning, because then I get great ideas and usually, start doing shit. But right now I'm just kind of in a holding pattern, and just focusing on what's already built. So, but yeah, I think he'll do fine. I saw that Erwin's back, so that's good to see too. So. It's been rough, man.
Yeah, again, Erwin. I think Erwin's another guy. Got like many of us, had a bit of a rough time at a certain part of the market. But yeah, I didn't know he was back. I'm really glad he is back, because he had a lot of time, positive energy for the ecosystem, and he disappeared for a while. So I'm glad he's back fighting again.
I think the common denominator here is a lot of people were pissed they didn't get the memo that we're going to shake this community out. burned the city to the ground. And
Yeah.
so yeah, they couldn't side with that.
Yeah, because even obviously there was a little bit of a narrative going for a while about bridging tokens over to Pulse Chain. We were all for it. We were part of that narrative, part of that movement. I think we still. I think I only took the Blaze LP off Pulse Chain a few, maybe about a month ago. The Inferno one still alive and kicking over on Pulse Chain. But Morph as a team did move, and maybe other community members did move a fair chunk of the Morph supply over to Pulse Chain. I don't know if you were paying attention to what was going on at that time with the Fitzgerald Company, Alamo. Things were heating up over on Pulse Chain. I think Brandon was involved, or not involved, but he was definitely. He was somewhere in the mix with all that stuff going on. But it's just because Pulse Chain just continued to go down. None of these moves or narratives really helped anything. I love the idea of pulling that. Pulling. Part of the Titan X ecosystem, we're always looking at multi-chain, but pulling a lot of it over to Pulse Chain. At the time, if Pulse Chain was going to have any sort of turnaround, like many things in crypto kind of thought they were going to, it would have been a good place to be. But some of that stuff just never really panned out. But Morph did move a lot of their supply over. And even around that time, I'm not sure, that's kind of maybe when Brant was starting to take a little bit of a back seat in terms of promoting Titan X and Morph on Ethereum.
Yeah. Once the market turns, these guys will be back, to start talking about their protocols and everything else. I believe that. And I think more than ever, even though Pulse Chain made like a new all-time low today, I think that there's a huge product market fit for Pulse Chain. People just don't realize it yet. But man, with the way, it's the same old, right? Your middleman, your exchanges, and everything else are still playing dirty, doing what they do, and there's going to be a real market for 100% DeFi chain. Add some privacy to that, and people are going to want that. I think there's a major product market fit for it. It's been absolutely brutalized since launch. OGs have, man, it's been so bad over there. You think Titan X is bad, man, Pulse Chains, as far as the sentiment goes, is even worse, and that's fine. And Richard wants that too, I believe. Get them out, because these people will sell at you, at the top. So yeah, it's been brutalized, but I don't think by any stretch of the imagination it's dead. You have to understand, and I think, us three actually have that same kind of spirit and the unwillingness to give up, and just to the bitter end. We're here, and those founders like Jake and founders like RH are not here to lose. They are here to win. And I think a lot of it may be ego driven, which is fine. Yeah, have a big ego, go kill it, go fucking rock it, because we're built on this shit. So they're not here to lose, man, and those guys aren't giving up this easy, and they know. You think that we're watching markets and everybody's watching charts? What do you think they're fucking watching? They're watching the same shit on about 10 times deeper levels. They know exactly what the fuck is going on here. They're probably watching this fucking stream. Jake probably is. Is there enough pain? Is there enough pain? When the time is right, the trigger will be pulled. I'm going to be here when that happens.
Yeah. So looking at all, I agree with you there, Utah. There's RH has made a lot of mistakes. The market, as experienced and whatever as that guy is in the market, he has made you know, a lot of bad calls in the last few years. You know, some even things that he's launched. You know, bad designs. Even looking back at the way the sacrifices and all that sort of many things that he's done. Such an intelligent guy made a hell of a lot of mistakes, but he's still here. You know, still here, still putting out content every day. I mean, even those he put out a big, massive, long tweet today, just explaining his opinions again on some things. But yeah, 100%, never given up, and we're here to fight alongside them. But it's funny, just as we're chatting through all these things and looking, you know, all these founders, they are still here. You know, Brandon, he's still putting out good content. He's still putting out his own videos. Maybe just not promoting tight necks at this minute in time, but he's still working his ass off. Still very, very active. Steve DeFi, okay. Steve DeFi helped me sort out the domain for Blaze yesterday. So I mean, Steve DeFi is still active. You know, one text message and he was bing straight in helping out. He's still putting posts out. Not quite, you know. And again, I know Steve had built protocols. He has protocols built, audited, waiting for release. Now, maybe the ecosystem and things might have moved on, and what he has built and what he has got, because that's happened to me a few times as well, where you've had an idea, you've started to build it, and by the time you're getting towards the end, or even you're a wee bit through the build, you kind of go, okay, this has got no product market fit anymore, and you just leave it shelved. So it'll be interesting to see if Steve comes back all guns blazing when the market turns. But again, I know he's there. I know he's still there. I know he's got things in the pipeline for when the time is right. We said James is still working hard. The dude in Helios, I haven't heard from the dude in quite some time. You're working with him on the Buildify protocol, Rich. How's the dude keeping? Is the market defeated him, or is he still here?
Oh, absolutely not. He is totally focused on Buildify. Yeah, he's hanging in there. He's trying to basically start, you know, focusing on his own portfolio. No, dude is taking time with family, getting, you know, crypto is basically put in its place. It's a day job for him, not a night job, not a weekend job. No, I respect him for being able to do that. Sometimes it's inconvenient for us, but it works for him.
Yeah. Okay. And just like to say as well, you were mentioning about 6 people viewing or showing up for the stream, the Sunday Spaces. That was pretty grim. Last week on the show was our lowest, I think probably the lowest ever viewership on this show last week. I was saying to you earlier, I think we got 17 viewers, something like, may have pushed up to 25 at one stage last week. We're over 100 already this week. Woohoo!
Let's fucking go. Titans are still around. Let's go.
Fucking dead yet. There's life in the old boy yet.
Yeah. I'm optimistic about this year, really. I like where we are, where we stand as a team, and what we got coming up for this year. I'm very optimistic that we will continue to plow through that Blaze supply. We will see higher prices on Blaze. We'll see more ETH flowing into the auctions, and by retrospect, we will have activity in the diamonds from that. And yeah, I'm highly optimistic of where we're going.
Yeah, so I mean, dude, hopefully we can get him back on a few streams in the new year. I haven't even had time to catch up with him for quite some time. So it'd be good to get a bit of a chat with him again. But again, we know that he's here. We know that he's active. We know that he's working, and it's no surprise that Helios is still up there in the still up there in the rankings within the ecosystem. Tink did not do what we were all hoped it would do at the time. It's been a bit of a fucking disaster. From such a great start, many people just say the inflation in the protocol is just far too high, especially with given the market sentiment and where we are. Seen a lot of posts of asking Eric to cut the Tink inflation. Do something else. But again, it's no surprise that it's still in there, still up there in the rankings. Eric is still here. He's still working, although I think this has been pretty much just left to fucking fend for itself. think certainly feels that way at the minute.
Yeah,
Again, it's a strategy.
I never understood not changing the inflation ratio on that. I never got it. I'm sure there's more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye, but I remember when, he pulled Inferno from farms and then I don't know, went on and started bashing Inferno. It's like, only winners are listed here. Really? Okay. Well, maybe we don't want to be listed there. What's
Think off?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hurt me. Hurt us. You ain't killing that bull.
Yeah. And then Inferno, it's kind of crazy to see Inferno with a market cap only 76K. Again, people, we have not forgot about Inferno at all. Now, as a team, obviously, I know, Rich, you're not really involved at all in Inferno. It's not really on your radar at all. You've got your other own things going on as well. But we have certainly not given up on Inferno. But it's like it's going to take a little bit of a turn in the market for us to be able to really put any energy and effort into helping Inferno turn around again. There's no point, and there's not much we can do with Inferno at this minute in time until, like everything else, the market starts to turn a little bit.
Inferno X is to Inferno what X28 is to Titan X. So, yep.
Were you gonna say, Rich?
No, I was just gonna confirm that. Yeah, I don't think people realize how hard it is. Putting a project out there is easy. Building a community around it, building a marketing plan around it, especially when we're paddling upriver. I mean, if all systems go, it's not that hard. But when you got multiple projects, you kind of need to focus on the ones with the most, what word am I looking for? The most, that you can make the most impact with, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I will say this. Shogun has certain pairs. And if you go down the list of pairs of things that are paired with Shogun, I think it might be an eye opener. So,
what if you fucking spit the bricks out? What do you mean by that?
Well,
open our eyes, boy. Open our eyes.
Well, Jake launched Shogun, right? Well, Shogun also went and bought a bunch of tokens and paired with Shogun. And what are the top pairs and what are the ones that have the most tokens paired with it? It's Dragon X and Inferno, I believe, are the top two. So Jake always loved Inferno. He knows. He's seen it. He's seen the power. That thing's going to run, man. People, when the time is right, meme coins are meme coins, and that thing is completely memeable. I love that bull. I refuse to let it die. But if they want to sell bottoms,
bull.
Yeah. But I will let them sell the bottoms, and that's why I just, I kind of just quit marketing for it. I was like, fine, you guys want to sell the bottom.
Kind of fucking insane. Now, when we start to come down here, it's kind of insane to see so many coins now. Okay, so many coins with such low liquidity and market cap. It's fucking insane. Even saying Inferno's hanging in pretty well compared to so many others. Rank 18 out of 42 in terms of market cap. All its tokens are out. Element 280. Woo! I mean, that thing was absolute fire when it launched. It's probably had one of the biggest falls in the ecosystem.
Falls from grace,
yeah. From its height to its low, there's probably some sort of absolutely crazy figure there of how much E280 has suffered. this last year, this 2025.
That'll come right back with the volume. That thing is far from dead. Actually, it's probably a really good buy right about now in these zones. You see it when Titanex.
Not
when
financial advice. Nobody listen to Utah's financial advice, please.
When Titanex starts to pump, you can see the volume picks right up on E280. It needs the volume. It needs volume in the Titanex Eco. It's based on that. Same with Shogun. So yeah, I'm just I don't know. Yeah. Don't follow my lead. What the hell do I know? I've only been here for a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, this element it requires a robust trading across the ecosystem for it to thrive. It needs the bots to do the trades. It needs the difference in pricing to cause the orb bots to function. So with little to no activity across all these projects, you can't expect Element to be doing anything.
Yeah, it kind of start to look now. These are really people's picks. I just can't believe some of these things. They got such low market caps now. Matrix 30K market cap, Legend X, 26K, Awesome X 23K. Okay, do all these we've seen how things have went with the bonded liquidity in the past. Do you think a lot of these things, when we get down to these lower numbers, are worth taking a punt on? I still hold all the GOAT X that I have, 11K market cap. If you go around crypto and look at and see how many coins there are out there with an 11K market cap that are sitting dead, what on earth would make you want to buy some of these ones as opposed to some other shite that's out there?
You can become a whale in any of these protocols for very, very, very cheap. And if nothing else, the liquidity bonding itself will probably make it worth it.
You need to just have more money than sense. That's all.
Yeah, more balls than brains.
All right. Okay. So, Legend X. That was Rudy Kazuti's, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. Jake X and Legend X.
Jake X never made it on here because he did a stealth launch with it. Awesome X. I haven't spoke to Dave again for a couple of months. Awesome X. I was said this a few times. Like in the height, whenever Awesome X launched, that thing brought in $1 million, over $1 million on its first mint day. Absolutely insane volume, participation, so much potential. Dave was flat out, but ready to build so much. But again, it launched pretty much at the height of the Titanex pump last year, and after 2 or 3 weeks, the minting fell below, but and then the negative ROI, and never seen the light of day again. But like you say, we saw it pump 6x one day. Somebody bought up a ton of supply. We saw it pump 6x in a day, and kind of fall away again. But it's like, okay, when you get down here, you nearly take your pick as to what you fancy having a bag of. And Flux. Flux. Dave is still here. Look, Rudy Kazuti seems long gone. Mike Dean still here. Callum kind of long gone. Flux. Pat, Bad Sports, Scotty Blaze, long gone. Stacks, Utah, still here. Fleur, what have we got? Smooth and Crypto. Smooth is still here. Not put a lot of effort into Fleur, but he still does pop in and say hello in the Telegram every now and again. But he's still here, still building, still working. I suppose there's no, like you say, Flare launched at possibly the worst time of all. Even at the time, start of 2025, at the very beginning, people were still of the opinion that the market could turn. Titanex had been going down for 3 months. Many people still thought that even at that stage that the bull run was coming. But Flare launched at a time when the participation in anything launching in the ecosystem was at an all-time low. So I do hope it gets a little bit more activity when things do turn around.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
wanna
these
pull it.
guys, I'm working with these guys on Buildify. So Smooth and Dave. So even though they're not present, for a lot of people to see, I am still seeing them weekly. These guys, they're just busy trying to make it in life right now. The crypto market was brutal, so they're just having to do what they got to do to keep going.
Shout out to Penny. Just wanted to shout him out.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. If you're available, Penny, we'll send you a link. Always welcome on this show, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're right when you just mentioned people, especially there are a lot of builders that are still here, still kicking about, that have just, they put so much of their own investment funds in good building. Look, I've done the same with Pulse Wars, with Blaze back in the day, putting so much of our own funds into building, auditing, and not getting the return that many people not getting the return on their investment has put them in a position where they've really got to knuckle down and just fight for survival in crypto as well. Ascend, okay, so Ascend, seeing Trader Lee and Sal come out with a public announcement that they're not going to be building on top of it anymore. Again, Lee, I chat to Lee pretty regularly, not on the phone or anything. I've chatted to him a few times on phone calls and things, but we do message every now and again, well, quite regularly. And he still, although he kind of said that he wasn't going to be building, wasn't going to be working on Ascend, he's definitely still trying to come up with ideas and builds that will benefit the ecosystem. Maybe Ascend is not really part of that plan at the minute. But it's like, I kind of thought Ascend would have been could have had the potential to be much higher up than it is at this minute in time. Bonfire, again, another one that launched at a bad time. Feel free to chip in on any comments here as I'm talking through these projects. Again, the Bonfire team, I've seen them posting saying that they haven't given up. Exactly the same. There's Revo in the comments. I'll be back to Felix when I have funds. Again, it's everything kind of falls into the same category down here. That people are. It's good to see that even Revo's in here, tuned in, still here, still paying a little bit of attention. But it's like these things cost so much time, money, and effort and energy to try to revive them, and there's very, very little works. And again, if you look at it, we're all fighting over the same at this minute in time. We're all fighting for participation from the same community. And I think, well, that being said, when you do look at what's getting any sort of participation at the minute, it is the ones that are still trying to turn up every week. Us, Eric, Jake's doing all right, even though he's never fucking here. But as we get down here, look, Revo, I hope to see you back here. I know you've got focus on quant, a bit of font. I actually seen you did a stream recently, and you were getting more viewers in a different community than we were getting in our own community. So, as far as outreach goes, hopefully you're building a bigger audience than us. And whenever you do come back to Felix, that you can bring some new eyes into the ecosystem. Now, Diamonds is only such a low market cap because there's no supply out there yet.
Yeah, what do we got to do to get out of the losers bracket here?
Yeah, down in down 34th position by market cap, but let's see where we're at in 100 days when when a lot of the 100-day miners start to come out. So I think we're on day 49 or 50, are we? Day 44. Day 44. That doesn't seem right.
That's old, huh? We on day 50 today.
Day 50. Need to refresh that. There, that just goes to show you how many days it's been since I've cranked the laptop up.
We're halfway to the first miners come out, and we're only 38 days away from the first staking payout, which has over $9,000 worth of value in it.
Yeah, we'll do a nice deep dive. What day are we on here? Maybe get done. Maybe do a proper stream, and maybe do a proper stream and get back into the stats of Diamonds and Blaze then on Thursday or at the weekend. H420 Turbo, Alien X gone, Lotus gone, Smoke again. I know you're working
up in
hard.
Smoke.
Up in smoke. I mean, Smoke launched at a bad time, too, Rich. But yeah,
it's extremely hard to put. A meme coin either runs or don't, and this is a product of nobody gave a fuck, and we still in that nobody gives a fuck. Those trucks of fucks have been gone.
Yeah, I mean, memes have their time, and it is peak euphoria time. That's when memes start to run, when everybody and their dogs here, when your fucking neighbor is asking you about Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, that's when memes run. So I wouldn't fade any of this stuff, honestly. But I just wanted to, Penny said he was driving, so he's probably not reading any comments. So Penny, I sent you a link on X if you want to hop on stream when you get done driving.
Okay, and then we got last couple there, Eden B88, and then down at the bottom. I can't believe Inferno X is at the bottom, but I suppose Inferno X is just like you say. We talked about a lot of this stuff before. We talked about the infrastructure within the ecosystem. X28 as a massive underutilized part of the infrastructure. Inferno X, we never really pushed for much participation in that, but it's always been there as for when things do start to turn. If Inferno, like anything else in the ecosystem, starts to get a little bit of a run, then all of a sudden that can start to breathe life into Inferno X. And once a little bit of life starts to come back in to some of these things, or into one or two things in the ecosystem, you can see a lot of I don't really like using it, but a lot of flywheels can kind of kickstart other parts of the ecosystem. And again, I think Inferno X launched at a bad time. Nobody really cared about it. That may change a lot when things are looking a little bit different out there.
Yep, that's infrastructure. It had to be put in place.
NFT projects. Shoot. Diamond certificates. There's no data in any of this stuff anyway. They're kind of just listed here. This is a pitiful list of NFT projects. Titan Legends, Titans. I don't even know. Titans of Battle. Do they even exist? Do they actually even exist?
Titan Legends, yes. I still have a bunch of them.
Titan Legends, they're
the dragons.
Dragons. What was Titans of Battle? Did they actually launch?
No.
In fact,
I sunk a lot. I bought 4 of their NFTs. They did have some NFTs, and they were really cool looking. It was like in a sphere, and the water was moving around, but it was really whatever. It caught the appeal. But this came right as we were getting after Dragon X came, I think it was. Anyway, I spent, trying to remember, I don't know if those were ETH a piece or what. I don't know. I was dumb. I bought 4 of them.
ETH a piece.
I can't remember, but I can tell you it was sunk cost. It was not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah. All right. Anything else you want to mention about any protocols or any founders or anything about the ecosystem at the minute?
No, not me anyway. It's just hard. People can hardly participate if you give it to them at this moment. They just don't seem to care. They're not
Yeah.
here to worry about it. They're doing something else right now.
Yeah, 100%. There was a time whenever, we going back a few months ago, it was like, we were joking about it quite a lot, just saying, you're launching a crypto project, you literally couldn't fucking give tokens to people, never mind getting them to buy tokens.
Yes, right. They got to be here to know that you want to give it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, just reading Daniel West's comment here.
Alex
got GoDaddy. Yeah, and they were a really big holder of Inferno. So that Inferno from their buy and burn, I think it's all gone now. There might be a few billion left in there, but that was always kind of a concern of mine because that Inferno was going to hit the market while it's out. So get all that out too. Let it all hit the market. So just let things play out the way that they got to play out.
Yeah, I see somebody mentioning, where was it? I did see a comment.
Alien X got GoDaddied.
Yeah.
By their domain. I know, sure. The Blaze fucking domain expired 2 days ago. And then they fucking get in touch with Steve DeFi yesterday. I'd be like, oh, Steve, the fucking domain's gone.
It went out again last night. What was the issue last night?
It shouldn't have been anything. I think maybe.
Yeah, it was definitely out again. I tried to clear the cache. I did everything. And then I said, oh, I don't care. So I just went to sleep. And this morning it was working again.
Oh, hopefully there's no more hiccups. It should be fine.
Yeah, shout out to Steve DeFi. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's still kicking around and, helps out with certain things. Cause I mean, you got to realize when we did Blaze, man, there was 8 founders.
I really like Steve. He's another one like James, always positive, always bringing positive energy. I don't know how you could not like the guy.
He is a likable guy, man. He is mad scientist for sure. He gets some wild ideas, man. That dude's insane when it comes to certain things. He just gets these ideas and, oh my God, but he'll be back. And I think Volt will do real well also, but, yeah, see if Penny responds to the link I sent him.
Where is Scotty Blaze?
That's a good question. Darko, how you doing, Darko? It's so funny because like Darko's the FUD king, but now he'll make different profiles to come in, and he don't FUD as hard. He just kind of concerned trolls.
You can see, there's some of the comments from that. That's I was immediately going.
That's Darko.
That's fucking Darko back.
That's fucking Darko. We'll let him stay for a second. Where is Scotty Blaze? I don't know. Where is Scotty Blaze?
I would say, look here again. I dealt with so many, from Blaze, from Accelerate. I dealt with so many people in the ecosystem that are building, and that's why I know a lot of the personal stories for people. Again, Scotty Blaze. You look at how much time and effort did he put into trying to, and whether you agree or not, I know you two locked horns a good few times, Utah, but he put a lot of effort and time into protocols that weren't very successful and just get fucking fed up with the whole thing. It's fucking demoralizing whenever you put a lot of this so much time and effort and your own money into something. But what's the crack? I suppose thinking about this, a lot of people maybe jumped the gun too quickly. We saw a lot of people in Titan X. We saw a lot of people jump in to build that maybe weren't I don't know, didn't have the stomach for, if it wasn't going to be a quick flip, didn't have the stomach to stick around and keep working. And I can totally understand that. You know, you say about us three still here, still battling, still fucking, you know, have the attitude to never give up. That's kind of what it takes. And you know, a lot of people just said, you know what, fuck this. I can do other things in life that will probably pay me better than crypto. Because and I'll be honest, there's times I've thought to myself, what the fuck am I still doing here? You know, why am I doing this to myself? But for me, it's no different to any other business that I've been in. You know, I've had other businesses make a success. I've had other businesses that have failed, and crypto is no different.
Yeah, me and Scotty Blaze go way back. Yeah, we've had a few heated conversations, huh, Ali?
Yeah.
I don't dislike the guy, but his view on crypto and tokenomics and my view on crypto and tokenomics are always opposite. And so, yeah, I'm sure he's just out there working in the real world, you know. We've all, you know, we've got families too, and you know, to support, and we've got lives, and
Whenever
so
you're, you know, like whenever call it what it is, you know, a lot of people have lost a lot of money and in crypto over the last load of years, and I've made more money in. It's funny. I remember Jake Sharp in the mastermind telling everybody that that property was an absolutely shit investment, an absolutely shit investment compared to crypto. Now, I've made more money in properties than I have in crypto in the last 4 years, easily, without anywhere near the amount of effort. But I remember at the time when he said that, thinking he was absolutely full of shit. And then, whenever there was a few different times in the mastermind things were getting, whenever certain things in crypto were looking up, you know, whenever Pulse Chain was launched, and I think there was a time whenever Hex had a run up to maybe 12 or 13 cents. Would been DCN in, would made DCN in the lows, and it got a nice run. And there's certain points in the time, certain points in time where it's going, yep, crypto's definitely by far the best investment. But many people have obviously just turned around and went, fuck this. I can make more money doing other things in other ways. And I just know a lot of builders have failed.
You can make more money collecting beer cans right now. You can make more money storing pennies, picking up pennies, beach combing. You can make more money doing a lot of things than crypto.
It's definitely Darko. I'm not even reading that there. It's definitely Darko now. Oh shit. Penny Boy Crypto, how's it going?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm driving right now, so let me know if it's if I sound like shit or anything like that.
No, it sounds perfect, man. Sounds good. How you doing?
Doing good. Just staying busy and yeah, man, just tracking along everything that we got going on in this industry and in this cycle, and yeah, man, I'm no complaints here. Just getting through the holidays too, you know.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see actually tonight. It's good to see you pop in. There's quite a lot of people in the chat there tonight. Old faces, Revo popping back in. The dudes popped in to say hello, and then a lot of our good old regulars tuning in again tonight. So thanks everybody that popped in tonight for coming in and saying hello. Yeah, have you been listening while we've been chatting through a lot of the protocols and just kind of where we're at in the ecosystem, Penny Boy? Have you been listening?
Yeah, I popped in probably like 10, 15 minutes ago, and heard just you going down the list. And like my whole opinion and approach on dealing with this ecosystem is placing bets on projects where you have the founders that are still involved, you know. You know, and just like what Utah was talking about too, like because of the bonded liquidity, like if we get a large influx with any of like the majors in the ecosystem, I mean, they're all going to fly, but which ones are actually going to last? You know, it's probably more so the ones that are going to continuously be built on and utilized and promoted, and where you actually have a group or a founder that's still there.
Yeah, and again, it's surprising to me when we do look down the list that a lot of the builders really are still here. So don't get me wrong, some aren't, and some are obviously a lot more active than others. But again, this part of the reason that we've continued to work is that I think the ecosystem, when you look at when you look at everything else that's out there, when you look at, I still think that we have something pretty damn special in the Titan X ecosystem compared to everything else that's out there in crypto. When you remember, you know, when you do go, sometimes you look down the best performing coins on DexFiner, you go down the Ethereum list, and you see 4 or 5, even in the top 200. Sometimes you might see 5 or 6 or 7 of the Titan X ecosystem coins mixed in and dotted around a hell of a lot of other absolute shite that's out there. And I think we're in a great position for whenever things do start to turn. We still have a lot of very dedicated community members. We'll have a lot of very dedicated builders. And I just think a lot of stuff that we've got here is it's all still got massive potential, but it just doesn't really seem that way right at this minute in time.
Well, I mean, it'll never seem that way when you're in these types of conditions, you know. Just like having like sticking to the rule of like investing, of like buying fear and selling euphoria. The reason why that seems so simple, but it's actually the hardest thing in the world to do, is because when you're in the midst of that environment, it's the opposite of what your emotions tell you to do. You know what I mean? So I think where we're at now, you know, you're going to see things that are going to be successful, and you're going to see things that are going to fail. I mean, that's just business, that's just economies, that's just how things go. You know what I mean? But I think the ones that build in this time, as long as nothing happens to Ethereum, we'll be fine, because we are based on Ethereum's success. And let's just all be honest. I mean, Ethereum's not going anywhere. You know, I don't know if you guys have been tracking the RWA.xyz website. If you haven't, anybody that's out there listening, I would go on to rwa.xyz.com and see the trajectory that tokenization of real world asset is going right now. It's going parabolic, right? And 66% of all tokenized assets are on Ethereum. And so you're talking about us going into an environment in this industry that we've never seen before. And you're talking about real world utility that is bridging the traditional financial system to blockchain. And it's happening. And Ethereum is front running that when it comes to tokenization. And so with us being literally paired to Ethereum, and active builders are continuously building, I think as soon as we're in the proper environment, whenever that may be, I think we'll be fine as a community because of people like yourselves right here. The fact that we're still streaming, we're still doing this, we're still having these conversations, and we're still building. I think the future is bright.
Yeah, I mean, that is a big part of the reason why we're still here. We've said already tonight that we firmly believe in the success and the future of the Titan X ecosystem. I think we're well positioned going forward. But for me, you know, we've seen pretty grim lows this year. It's been 2025 has been, you know, it's been, yeah, tough to say the least. Utah, I'm going to use some of your phrases here, but anyway, I think for us as a team, it's been important to just continue to turn up every week in, week out, no matter what's going on, I think we've done something that needs to be, there needs to be some sort. There's a Sunday space still every week. So shout out to Mike Dean, Plan A, James for turning up there every week. Like I say, even when there's only 6 people. But I think it's these, like on our streams every Tuesday, it's these things that show that we're not dead. And they put us in a position for whenever anything does start to turn around, that there are places places for people to go to continue to even to look back at what's happened over the last year, to be able to go back and see that there is this continual stream of content, that there is continually things happening, and I think it's been important just to keep doing that no matter what has happened in 2025, and hopefully 2026 it gets easier, it gets more fun, and we can get back some of that awesome sentiment that we had at the tail end of 2024.
Yeah, I would like to kind of piggyback off what Penny said. Anyway, welcome, Penny. How you doing, man? Good to have you here. RWA integrating with the blockchain, and I believe that's what Jake's doing. He pretty much told us that's what he's doing. We just don't know exactly how he's going to do that yet, but it's going to burn X28 in the background. And so, he has a background in marketing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of marketing platform, to be honest with you. And Ethereum's the one, man, just because the price has been suppressed for so long, it's so hard to see it. But Ethereum's been around the longest, and the big companies, they can't do shit on Bitcoin. They can buy Bitcoin and they can hold Bitcoin and they can issue, ETS for Bitcoin, but they can't fucking build on it. So what are they going to build on? They're going to build on Ethereum. Solana, not. That's they're going to build on that? They're not. Some might, but Ethereum's been around the longest. It's the most trusted, and that's where they're going to build. And we're still in the right place. If you look at all the charts, you're saying, no, you're in the absolute wrong fucking place. And if you go by emotion, you're in the wrong fucking place. But if you go by logic, we are absolutely in the right place.
I got a question. Penny, I know you're in the macro world, but what do you think about the silver situation? Are you following that?
Yeah, man. So what I've noticed is if you go on a lot of the previous charts of whenever you have a breakout on precious metals and commodities, it's usually two things. It's a hedge against inflation, or it's massive global uncertainty. And within those times, you've had periods of liquidity expansion that happens 2 to 3 months after these large breakouts. And so the precious metal market has essentially like front ran money printing, which is interesting because of what my thesis has been of us going into 2026. We're going to have a period of liquidity expansion from the Fed and from fiscal policy and all that stuff. So whenever you've seen a large expansion in, like, let's just say gold, right? It's usually front run Bitcoin and the crypto industry by about 90 to 110 days. So I think it's attracting money supply right now. It's attracting the liquidity, and at some point, just like every other chart in the world, that will peak out and there will be a rotation.
Mm-hmm. I think the silver story is a little bit more interesting because I think there's some things at play that may not. Well, of course, the charts will be the look back in history. Nobody will know what happened, but basically, it looks like the paper market is being exposed because the silver liquidity is not there to be, to substantiate the paper trades that they do. So Yeah, there's other. I mean, it's an industrial product, right? Silver, so it's being hoarded by certain countries, which is taking supply off the market, making it even more scarce from a liquid standpoint. So I think in 2 days we're going to see something pretty interesting on the silver front.
In two
I
days?
don't own silver, to be clear. I don't own it, and definitely don't speculate on the paper market.
Those fuckers talk about diamond hands. Those motherfuckers been holding for 50 years, bro. I ain't lying. They have, man.
I'm just kind of wondering how it would ripple effect through the different markets once whatever happens in 2 days happens.
Well, what's the crack in 2 days, Rich?
Well, the China is going to restrict exports of silver, so and they're a major miner of it. So when you got a lot of the supply being restricted from entering the markets, and they pulled 41 tons off the market this morning, and there's big institutions that have shorts on the market. There's other positions that went long and have stockpiled a bunch, and it's a perfect storm brewing. And on the first is when China restricts those exports, so it's going to have a major repricing, price discovery, and the paper market on silver is going to be exposed for what it is. Yeah, just stay tuned. I don't know. Watch for it.
Watch and see what happens.
Like, I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm just get my popcorn. I am kind of interested to see what happens though, the trickle, the ripple effect.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see if there's any rotation coming out of any of these into anything else, or if they're just going to get rinsed. The boomers just going to get rinsed, and that's that.
Sorry,
And big,
my bad, guys.
big,
I'm like in the middle of something too.
big money
I
wins
saw
again.
something that was really interesting on the silver situation, to where you have now a situation in the banking system to where they can't cover the futures on it, and it's creating like a massive liquidity issue. And the Fed just had to inject liquidity into the banking system overnight to cover this, which is interesting.
Mhm.
We say overnight, was that like in the last day?
This morning, yeah.
Was that on the news in the States, was it?
No, it was kind of hush hush.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, if you're digging for it, but I just happened to read an article. I've been following it the past week, just trying to see what's going on there. And the more and more you dig into it, the more and more you're learning from, I guess, if it's a reputable source, but it lines up with what he just said.
So does the Fed have to come in and save them if something like that happens?
Well, they did in this case this morning to prevent, a further, I guess I don't know, to try to put the small fire out before the big fire starts. I don't know.
Yeah, gonna be definitely. I'm gonna start keeping an eye on that.
Hey, look, guys, I got to run. I'm at my mom's house, and we got to go do something.
Okay, we're going to start wrapping up here anyway. Yeah, so I don't know if you'll be available on Thursday. Maybe leave it to the weekend. But we do need to get back into covering diamonds and blaze as we tick over into 2026. So I get a chat with you. I get a chat with you tomorrow, and we'll
Okay.
get something lined up soon.
Yeah, I'm more than likely be available. So,
All right, have a
Take
nice
care, everyone.
rest of your day, man. Take it easy.
Later, Rich.
Okay, Penny Boy, since you're here, anything stand out for you in this last year within the Titan X ecosystem? Anything that you've seen as super bullish, super bearish, or anything that's sort of making you glad that you're still here? Anything in particular from the last year? If he's not there, you tell me you want to answer that.
Man, so much has changed, dude. I mean, even if you looked at the first anniversary stream and you look at every single person that was on that first year anniversary stream, how many are actually left? Man, it's like we're basically starting over just the
I can't hear you, Allie. I don't know what's going on with my StreamYard.
oh, can you hear me, Penny? Yeah, you can't hear me. But yeah,
let me log out and I'll log back in.
we just it's just the soldiers left, man. That's it. But all it takes is market sentiment, and many people will be back, and we'll get a lot of new people coming in too. Retail. When that day is, who knows? Does it happen in 2026? I hope so, just like everybody else. But I think they're going to run this economy hot. So I think we're going to see a bull run in 26. I know a lot of people don't. I don't believe in the 4-year cycle, but
that's that. I mean, just one thing to mention on that is, and I'm sure many people in that are still here. You're still talking about the soldiers that are still here, builders, community members. There's still, all right. The numbers have dwindled significantly, but there's still a nice, strong community here. But I don't know if you're exactly the same as me. Nobody that's not in crypto and are not diehards. Nobody is asking me about crypto. Even when Bitcoin was pushing up, none of my friends, co-workers, family were asking me should I be buying crypto? That never hit. Another thing is it's very, very rare that I tell anybody at this minute in time, I'm telling anybody to buy crypto. Retail never really came. And I'm sure a lot of people I've discussed this many times before, but just that any time over the last few years, when you did get somebody in, you told them to buy something, they get decimated. They got absolutely decimated. And until that part changes a little bit as well, it's going to take that to change. Sentiment's going to have to change, and then that's going to have to change as well. Where you feel confident enough that you can start to tell people, okay, I would actually take a nibble here now. Yes, you could say DCN now could be an epic play, but it's a hard sell. It's a really, really hard sell to people. So hopefully, like you say, this economy starts to turn. Penny Boys give us some great information over the last few months on the show here as well, as to his thesis of the liquidity's coming, and it'd be nice to see that start to trickle in and change at the early part of 2026. It's even just a stop of the kind of downtrend. The fact that Ethereum, we're talking about how Ethereum is such a massive part of crypto. I mean, you look at from its bottom in the bear market of around $950 to its top. It wasn't even a 5x. Bitcoin kind of almost did like an 8 or 9x, and you would expect that Bitcoin would have been one of the worst performers in terms of X's, but it was actually one of the best performers. So ETH has got so much potential and so much room for growth and upside. Hopefully when it starts to pop off, we'll start to get these phone calls again, these messages, or should I be buying crypto? But that's certainly doesn't feel like that's where we're at anytime now.
No, we're a long ways from it, but nothing moves like crypto. When it's time, and when it goes, man. We've seen it. It's so volatile, and that's why we're here, right? We're here for the volatility to the upside. Well, we don't get that without the volatility to the downside. Did I think it would go this deep? Hell no. Did I think it would last this long? Hell no. But here we are. So if I flip it to a positive, I'm gonna keep DCAing. Penny's back.
Yeah, Penny, can you hear us this time?
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
I just want to ask him that question whenever he's organized, or I do want to ask him, because he has provided some great insights for us on the channel over the last few months. A lot of people thinking that the bear market's here, that the 4-year cycle is holding strong, that we've all missed our opportunity and we're into another bear and into another crypto bear market. I don't really believe that. Penny doesn't really believe that. Hopefully we're right. But I did want to ask him that question again. Is about the specifically the Titan-X ecosystem. So let us know whenever you're available there again, Penny, and we'll ask you. You talk on another note. We're going to start wrapping up as well. I just want to kind of we'll close on that little discussion with Penny whenever he's ready there. But anything else you want to talk about or mention before we start wrapping up for tonight?
Diamonds is doing well. People are in profit over there, so if you have any powder or you're interested, go check out diamonds1111.win. And like I've said before, if you have all day to sit in chats and telegrams and X and everything else and bitch the whole time and do nothing but FUD, you have time to get off your ass and go earn a little bit of money in the real world and start buying some freaking tokens and position yourself better.
All right, I'm back, guys. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, no problem at all. We are going to start wrapping up here. I appreciate you coming on. We're going to start wrapping up pretty soon. And I was asking you before you get cut off there. 2025, you've provided us with some great, great information over the last few months on the show. Really appreciate what you've come on, the information you've shared with us. But 2025 for not just crypto, we'll focus on Titan and Titan-X specifically. With all the things that you've been looking into, all the things you've learned, a couple of things. Is there anything in the last year within the ecosystem that's really stood out for you? And do you still feel that being in this ecosystem at this minute in time, that the potential is still there for when the markets start to turn?
Yeah, I do. Now, like this is my overall viewpoint of it all. Is back in 2008, you had this massive financial crisis where all of the central banks all around the world all agreed to drop their rates to zero. And then what they did is they issued 4-year bonds to refinance their debt. So every 4 years, these bonds have expired and these central banks have been refinancing their debt. And that's really what has been driving these liquidity cycles since the inception of Bitcoin, which is really interesting too on why Bitcoin has a 4-year halving. That's a whole nother conversation. So it's what's driven these cycles, not even just in crypto, but in assets altogether in like the last however long that's been, 20 years or something. And what happened is the last set of bonds that they issued for our debt with Biden, they issued them 5 to 5.5 year bonds. And so those bonds expire in 2026 to refinance the debt. And that's where a lot of liquidity is going to come into the system, is when that debt is refinanced. And so my whole take is we haven't even really had a proper cycle. So many people in crypto, just because you've been a part of something for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, there's this kind of pompous nature, this ego that's attached to a lot of people, that I've been here for 2, 3 cycles, so I know how this thing works. And what happens when you have that type of viewpoint is you're completely discrediting the powers at be that actually make these cycles. And so I think Ethereum is just entering into a run that Bitcoin has already had of legitimate utility. Because look, man, what's his name from BlackRock, Larry Fink, has publicly came out several times saying we're going to tokenize everything. Do you know how much money that means is going to come on chain in the next 3 to 5 years, we're talking trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars are going to come on chain. A lot of that's going to come on Ethereum. A lot of that's going to flow through the XRP ledger as well when it comes to like cross border payments and remittances. And there's going to be other chains that are going to do different things. There's going to be tech stacks essentially where you're going to have these institutions that are going to be tapping into several different blockchains for different usage for DLT. And then you have AI. Right. So you have all these catalysts that are creating more of a digital economy than today that we're entering into. So I'll bring this back to Titan X. Titan X is a leverage play on Ethereum. And so I think that the community is the asset. And I've said this a lot, and I stand firm on this because no matter what happens, what drives markets other than liquidity is human nature, human behavior. Human behavior does not change. We are creatures of habit and we are emotionally driven. And the same thing that drew people in to Titan X in that first month, people were making money. Numbers were going up, candles were green. Okay, is the same exact behavior and same exact emotions that will drive the next batch of individuals that will come into this ecosystem. Just because we've gone down for the last 9 months or 10 months or however long, and like probably 90% of the community has been shaken out. That's human nature. That's markets. Now, when we get reset and we bottom and we make our next leg up, whether that be 2 months, 3 months, 9 months, I have no idea. Whenever the tides turn, you will have the next batch of human beings that will come in with that same emotional behavior, chasing money and chasing opportunities. And so that's how I view the Titan X ecosystem. And that's how I view the future of what's to come. And that's why I'm still bullish.
Yep, love it. Great takes there, man. I mean, it's exactly exactly the way I feel. You know, we've got we definitely have community here. We've got a lot of good projects. We've got a lot of people that have learned a lot over this last period of time. And when things do change, we have got everything in the ecosystem that's needed for DeFi activity. We've got memes. We've got borrowing lent. We've got pretty much everything in DeFi within our ecosystem. And we have a lot of firepower and monetary value behind a lot of these things, even at these lows. So yeah, the future, I mean, in my opinion, the future looks bright. It may not seem that way at this minute in time. But yeah, hopefully we don't have too much longer to wait. 2026 can be a little bit easier to get bullish and stay bullish. Okay, Utah, we're going to start wrapping up here. Anything you want to mention before we call it a night?
Nope, just that I agree with Penny 100%. People come when there's money to be made and green candles and hype. People come. I saw it happen when Titan X launched. Went from a freaking Telegram group of 200 all the way up into double digits, and it happened fast. And I was there for the whole time. And I think we've just been so beat up here in altcoins. We forget what it's like when euphoria happens, and when that shit happens, my God, it is absolutely insane. And you want to be buying these lows that we're at right now when you don't want to touch crypto and you're so mad and you're pissed and you're impatient. These lows right now, these are the ones you want. These are the ones with the upside.
All right, nice. Well, get you on stream again. You really reckon Utah Thursday or Saturday?
Yeah, we could do Thursday. I'll stream Thursday. Penny can come back when he has more time if he's around on Thursday. It's New Year's Day in the afternoon, right? Yeah.
There's no, fuck that. Not streaming New Year's Day. Fuck that. I've got people to go see, and we'll leave it to Saturday.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. Saturday stream. Let's go.
All right, sweet. Penny boy, anything you want to say then, just to close it out?
Yeah, man, just everyone stay positive. I would just expand your time horizon, because that's why this is so painful. It's just expectations were just murdered, right? And then the time horizon is was put in a box. So when you expand your time horizon, when you understand that, like, hey, I'm just here. I'm here because I believe in this space. I believe in the community. And when you just allow things to happen, whether it be 3 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it may be, you're here. Then your expectations aren't wrapped up in something happening overnight. And then you just allow things to evolve and have a bigger macro viewpoint on things. So the future is bright.
That's yeah, look, that is a great point. It's kind of alluding to just some of that at the very start of the stream tonight, just saying, that, that it's been a lot, we've been here for a long time. I only got into crypto May 2021. And you had, especially after the first 6 months, whenever you learned about the 4-year cycle, when you were positioning yourself in ecosystems and coins that seemed at that time to have so much massive upside potential. And even in Jake's mastermind, we were aiming. It's kind of crazy that we're starting. I mentioned this before. We were going to start the DCA out, not last November, but the November before. We were starting to exit positions. That was kind of, we did. We had all these. It was a big thing. Time analysis was a big, massive thing that Jake used to talk about in the mastermind. And you're right. We had these expectations along the way. Now, those have been kind of beat out of us. But that's why it's important that I was saying, we're just here. We just turn up. It doesn't matter if it happens. We've already been here for 5 years. If we're here for another 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it is what it is. So that, I think that's a great way to think about it, Penny. Just expand your time horizon. Try not to make any really bad decisions. Try and manage your investments as well as you can, and don't get shaken out. Don't get washed out by the market. Just expand your time horizon, chill out, and if you're here and you still believe in where we're positioning ourselves, if it's another year, so be it. If it's another 2, so be it. We've taken this much of a beating so far that what's another 2 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate all your work in 2025. Way to go. Good times ahead. Yes, hope so. Penny boy, hopefully we can get you back on for a little bit more of a deep dive again then in the next week or two. Are you available maybe next Tuesday, or you available next Tuesday maybe?
What's the date of that?
I don't know. I'll message you after.
Okay. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
All right, no man. Appreciate you coming on again tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Ali. I appreciate it, man.
Take it easy. So, 2025 was not exactly what we were all hoping for, but look, we had a quick look through all the different projects, the ecosystem, and at many different times, I'm sure everybody in the comments, everybody tuning in tonight has bought into much, much more than just 1 or 2 coins in the ecosystem. Even our good friend Rich Landon has pretty much said that he bought into or invested in nearly every single project that did launch. He took a little nibble. Some, when you look down the list, have more potential than others. Some could be gone, could be dead. The bonded liquidity is still a massive, massive thing, but there is no doubt that the ecosystem is ready and ripe for any stage when Ethereum starts to pump, when Jake returns, when any of the BAM burns in the ecosystem start to get switched on. We have got so much firepower and so much infrastructure built here already that I will not be getting shaken, no matter how hard 2025 has been for the Titan X ecosystem. Forget about the rest of crypto. I'm not getting shaken out for 2026. Blaze, Diamonds, Inferno, all have plenty more to come, and they're only things that I'm personally involved in at this minute in time. So, look, I really appreciate. Actually, we've all got up to almost 200 people viewing tonight. We haven't had 200 people tune into the show in a couple of months. So that just goes to show you we're not completely dead. We're not completely dead yet. So yeah, stick with us. 2026. hopefully it'll be a much better year for crypto. And yeah, we'll see you all again on Saturday. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Blazing Diamonds and what's going on, what we've got in store for 2026. And yeah, we'll be back here as we always are in 2026 every single Tuesday, streaming and fighting for our bags. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Thanks everybody for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see you again real soon. Hold the line.
In the mountains of the blockchain.